So today really is primarily about celebrating 75 years of the NHS, which is fantastic obviously. But what we've done over the last month or two, actually a couple of months, is we've got a bit of a connection with the South West Coast Path Association with Jack. Jack got in contact and we have already planned and delivered one walk with staff, and the Coast Path Association are 50 I think this year as well, so it combines quite nicely. And what they're doing is they're delivering some free training for us to be able to lead walks, but also they are offering free guided walks for staff, which is just an awesome opportunity for staff to get out and about and do things. So the uptake's been brilliant. We've been really lucky that staff have been able to come and join us for the walks, but yeah, it's a partnership that we're looking to roll out over a prolonged period of time. So I guess lots of people will probably get on the Coast Path in their personal time, but what we're trying to do within our role within the health and wellbeing team is to get the message out to staff individually and in teams to say, can you be creative in finding ways to access wellbeing for you? And we understand totally that work pressure is going to dictate that lots of people can't do things like today, but the message is, if it isn't this, what else could it be? How else could you engage with a walking meeting maybe, or I don't know, just there's loads of different ways that teams can get a bit more active, maybe get out in the fresh air. Maybe it's something you've got to do within your work setting, so you've got to be, like I say, a little bit more imaginative about how you do it. But that's the message really. The messaging that we've heard from the trust, from the executives, has absolutely been that wellbeing is a priority for staff. And I know that there might be staff that think, oh crikey, it's hard for us to access that. But that is the message, and what we're trying to do is spread that message wider so that people do take opportunities if they can. People have been amazing today to carve time out to come and do this with us, and it just goes to prove that if you don't ask the question, can we go and do this? If you're not feeling confident enough to ask the question, then you'll always just keep doing the things that you've been doing, whereas people have challenged that a little bit today to get here, and the answer's been yes. So clearly there is support and there is opportunity for things like this today. What we're going to be doing is taking it out and around the county, and we can provide walks at a more bespoke level, so it doesn't have to be as long as it is today. It could be a different route, so it's just asking the question and challenging what your popular beliefs might be about what you can and can't do with regards to wellbeing. That's what we really want to challenge.
Yeah, so I work for the South West Coast Path Association, and we run a project called the Coast Path Connectors. And the idea is to encourage people to use the South West Coast Path for well-being, mental, physical health, socialising, because it's a free resource on our doorstep in Cornwall, and it brings great benefits for tourists, but also we're trying to encourage local people to use it. So the idea was, I've been working with the team, with Gary and Zara, to set up NHS walks for the NHS staff, because it's a high stress job. So it's just to showcase that the Coast Path is there, and it is a tool that we can use to just get away from our day-to-day stresses. And there's something about being in the outdoors which is good for your mental health, and there's something about being around others. For me, walking is one of the best things to do, because it's one of the few physical activities you can do whilst chatting. If you want a minute by yourself, you can just pull off and have a minute, taking the view, taking the wildlife. But it's really easy to approach someone and just ask them how they're doing, where they work, and it just brings up conversation quite easily. Yeah, the Coast Path, it's in Cornwall, it's about 330 miles, some of which is much more accessible than others. It goes through towns, Penzance, Falmouth, which is accessible to pretty much anyone, and then there's a route for all abilities really. What I love about doing these walks is when splinter groups set up, and it might be 2 or 3 people from within a walk decide to set up their own little walking group, and then they can go off and do that